The facial hair started to decrease. It wasn't growing as fast. And I just felt good. The pain wasn't there. The painful bowel movements decreased tremendously, and it felt good. And so I don't know if anybody's listening, when you're starting to do things differently and it feels good and your body responds to it, keep leaning into that movement. Keep doing more of those things instead of reverting back to your old self and your old habits just because it's comfortable for you. Like, let that momentum build.
Come on now. Preach.
Highly inflamed. The root cause of all of those conditions all at once, it was inflammation. Some hormone, but a lot of inflammation, deep-rooted inflammation. And so I know now, knowing what I know now, it's the stress, it's the dairy, it's the foods that you're eating, it's the processed foods. I grew up in the South. I love sugar. It's the sugar. You know, it was so many things that were of comfort, and the struggle for me because...
Welcome to Plant-Based with Nicole, with your host, Nicole.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Plant-Based with Nicole. I'm your host, Nicole Roche, also known as Plant-Based Nicole Roche on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you go check me out over there on those platforms as well. Today, I'm coming back with another episode with a high energy content creator, podcaster. Her vibe is giving, okay? She reminds me of myself. Anyway, her name is Jovonnie Ford, and Jovonnie began her plant-based journey in February of 2023 after juicing with her mother, sparking a powerful shift in her health and mindset. Since then, she's experienced lighter periods, improved digestion, pain relief, more energy, and regular cycles. She was diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, and another ailment that I cannot pronounce. I'll let her describe it to you. She discovered chronic inflammation at the root of her conditions. Through a plant-based anti-inflammatory lifestyle, Jovonnie is healing while embracing self-love and empowerment, reshaping her choices for long-term well-being. So I am excited to interview her today, and I hope her story inspires someone today. Y'all, without further ado, let's bring on Jovonnie Ford. Jovonnie, what's up? Thank you for coming on my platform.
What up, Nicole? What's up?
I love it. The energy is giving.
Damn, I'm excited to be on the platform. Let's go.
Yes, I'm excited too. Before we get to the interview, I'd like to do a little game called This or That.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give you two categories. You're gonna say which one resonates with you, but another part of the game is you got to be quick.
Okay.
You can't think.
No.
So I say 2 words. Yes, I say 2 words. You respond immediately. Ready? Go. Dates or bananas?
Dates.
Raw vegan diet or cooked vegan diet?
Ooh, depend on who making the food. I'll just go plant-based diet. I'll go plant-based. Be cook.
Raw desserts, cooked. Raw desserts or fresh fruit?
Raw desserts me.
Papaya or pineapple?
Pineapple all day. Come on with the bromelain.
Morning fruit feast or evening fruit feast?
Morning.
Monomeal or variety plate?
That's another one, depending on who cooking. I'll go variety plate because I'm going to make somebody else make the meal and I get a good taste.
You so silly. Okay, good job. Kinda, because you was taking too many pauses. No.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna give you a B+.
It's okay. And I'm probably just like my students. I play this at the beginning of the school year, and then they just kind of be like, well, it just depends. And they want to be in the middle. So
yeah,
I get it. I'll take it to start it off. It's all good.
I'm not going to lie. It's one of them hard things because, we want to take time to think first. But part of the game is you can't think. You got to shout it out. And that's what makes it hard. But it's all good. You at least got a B+. Nah.
All right.
Okay, anyway, I'm happy to have you today. So let's get with the interview. So, we got to go back to the basics so everyone can know how long have you been plant-based and then what inspired you to start juicing and embrace a plant-based lifestyle with your mom?
2025, 24, 23. It was 2023, February of 2023. We started a little bit before February dropped, but 2023, February, me and my mom started juicing. When I started juicing, I automatically went ahead and went plant-based because I was just feeling so good and I was ready to take it to the next step. Prior to that, I was pescatarian. I called it Peskegan, Nicole. You know, you can put whatever labels you want to when you start doing things differently, not really caring what everybody has to say or what bucket you're in.
Right.
But I called it Peskegan because I was still eating seafood, but I already took the dairy out. And so it was just still like some salmon, some tuna steak. But what started it was one, let's take it back to March 2020. March 2020 is when I ended up having surgery, excision surgery for stage 4 endometriosis, adenomyosis, polycystic ovary syndrome, and they found 2 small fibroids was the results of that surgery in March 2020. It started back though, Nicole, when I started realizing something was wrong and my body was at this point like tired of just speaking nicely to me, but kind of now starting to shout a little bit more like, hey, we need to do some things differently. You need to investigate what's happening in your life right now. It was April 2019, and I thought it was food poisoning, which kind of resonates because I thought it happened again before. And nobody else was sick after that meeting or where we all went to eat. And I was like, well, why am I sick? Why am I, not feeling good and throwing up and things aren't settling and my stomach's all over the place and I'm nauseous. I went to go see my nurse practitioner, and we kind of chunked it up to stress because I was at a new school. The people weren't necessarily getting in alignment with my leadership because I'm coming from one side of town and now I'm at another school. And it was high stress. And then my relationship at the time wasn't the best. And it was kind of, not good. So home life, work life, high stress, not really prioritizing myself. That's what we said it was April 2019. August 2019, I'm driving to work, Nicole, headed to a PD, and the night before I felt this debilitating pain like I had never felt it before. It just woke me up out of my sleep. The heating pad wouldn't help. It was like I didn't know what to do. I actually ended up having to lay on the floor for a while because it was the coolest place, that tile, and just in fetal position, and I'm close to the toilet in case I need to throw up. And then I wake up and I'm okay. Like the pain was gone. So I get up, I'm driving, and that pain hits me again, Nicole, and it hit so hard that I lost like some slight strength in my right hand side, kind of just swerved over into this other lane, and there was an 18-wheeler coming and that lane coming up on me, and I had just enough strength to get back in the line. So it was like I almost felt like my life flashed before my eyes. And at that point, my aunt and my nurse practitioner was just like, you need to go to the emergency room. We need imaging. We need to figure out what's actually happening. And that's what I went to the emergency room, let them know. They thought it was a ruptured cyst. And I just started the journey. I went to OBGYN. The OBGYN suspected endometriosis. But then she was like, do you want to get on birth control? And I was like, no, I want to know what's going on in my body. Like, I've never felt this before. I need to know what's going on inside. I cared so much more about what was happening on the outside. I thought it was a good indicator. I don't know about you, Nicole, but seeing how you feel and look on the outside, you think everything's okay until you start realizing the body speaks to you in different ways through its messages, your symptoms. And so she told me I could go to a specialist, and she knew one. Girl, guess who it was?
Who? Dr. Weasel Thumb?
Her husband was the excision specialist. So my OBGYN referred me to her husband, and he was really good. Wow. One of the best. And we went through the whole procedure, and one of my sorority sisters, who's also an OBGYN, said, there's no cure for endometriosis, but diet could help. And so that's when I started thinking about changing my lifestyle. And so I started that process. By the time February 2023 came around, my mom was looking for ways to help my granddaddy, who was getting older, but she started going through menopause, and she started experiencing different things in her body. So while she's looking at I know, that's why I dropped the word. so you can catch it, and before you put it down, she started experiencing different things with menopause, and she's a nurse. So when she was having these different things and she's getting rushed to the ER, she knew exactly what to say to make sure they weren't wasting any time to get her back there, because she don't know if she's having a heart attack. She don't know what's happening with her blood pressure. And so while she's focused on her dad, I'm focused on my mom. She was thinking juicing would be a really good vibe. She was watching different videos, and I was like, let me get this juice. Let me get this Nama J2 juicer. Let me order the stuff from Amazon. Let it pull up to the front, and let's start juicing. And so that gave the movement to Juice with the Fords, and we just started juicing. And over a while, I got educated. I got a juicing certification because I wanted to make sure we were doing things right for our healing purposes and not just juicing just to be juicing, because you could throw a whole bunch of stuff and it can get expensive. And so that's what started the plant-based journey for me. I felt good. My periods got lighter. My periods got regular. Any of my PCOS posse out there, irregular periods was my thing. The facial hair started to decrease. It wasn't growing as fast. And I just felt good. The pain wasn't there. The painful bowel movements decreased tremendously, and it felt good. And so I don't know if anybody's listening. When you're starting to do things differently and it feels good and your body responds to it, keep leaning into that movement. Keep doing more of those things instead of reverting back to your old self and your old habits just because it's comfortable for you. Like, let that momentum build.
Come on now. Preach. So, wow, that's a lot. So, wow. Well, praise God, first of all, for your healing. Okay.
Amen.
We want to first give credit to God. Okay. Wow. So, cause he is the creator of the food that healed you, right? So come on now. So how long after you start? So hold on, let me get my thoughts together. So you started juicing first, and then you went to the plant-based way, and then you started getting all the relief, and the symptoms were healing and everything. How long after you started doing the juicing and changing your diet did the symptoms get better? Because you had a lot of things going on, a lot of different things
Nicole,
going on.
I did, but remember, juicing and plant-based came in 2023. The surgery was 2020.
Okay.
So once I got all of those diagnoses and knew what was going on in my body, starting to do research, I was already pescatarian prior to the surgery and what was all happening. So then it was taking out the gluten, taking out the dairy, seeing the changes happening, because I knew I just had a huge surgery. Like, that surgery, Nicole, was supposed to take 1 hour and it took 4. My surgeon wasn't even expecting the endometriosis to be as severe with stage 4. My fallopian tubes were stuck together. Like I said, it was that large cyst on my right ovary. It was just all on my bowels, my rectum, my appendix. The endometriosis scar tissue was just covering all over so many different areas.
Wow.
And it took him so long. And he's a very meticulous, slow person, which I was okay with that, because what I have seen in the industry, Nicole, is that some people aren't endometriosis specialists or endometriosis surgeons. And so they think because they know a little bit about it, they can open you up. They open you up and see all of this and then close you back up and say, I don't know what to do with you, and then send you someplace else. Like, I didn't have time for that because it's already fragile, choosing surgery, but I needed to know what was going on in my body. But I would say, Nicole, because it went plant-based and I'd already started changing, I would say I was already feeling good in February. March was endometriosis awareness month, and my vibes were up. I don't know about you, but the energy goes up on the plant-based living, and then the juicing too. And so I felt really good in March. Like, my period was there, starting to see a slight shift. I'm gonna say April, I really started seeing it was like, oh, you're on time, you're flowing pretty good, the pain is not really there. And I was like, hold on, you might be on to something. May comes, and it just keeps getting better and better as the months roll. And I'm gonna say it had to be 3 months, if that, seeing a real
That's great.
versus what I had already seen after surgery.
That's really good. And this is what year? Forgive me if I forget. I got menopause brain.
No, it's okay. 2023.
Yeah.
2023.
2023. Okay, that's amazing. 3 months. That's really quick. So, how did your diagnosis of all these things, like the endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, and how do you pronounce this?
Adenomyosis.
Yeah. How did the diagnosis of all those things impact your outlook on health and wellness?
Girl, it impacted it tremendously. One, because I already have a health background. I went to college and got a health promotions degree. So I already knew more about, like, nutrition, living, educating people on it. And then there was a time where there was a gap in my insurance and I couldn't be seen when there was an issue. And so I was like, ooh, I want to learn more about health administration. And so I got my master's in that. And so once my diagnosis came, it was like, okay, I want to get a little bit more intentional. I'm going the natural route. I'm not going the birth control route. I want to figure out what I can do in my own lifestyle to elevate this, because now I'm more aware that even though I feel good on the outside and I think I'm quote unquote healthy and I think I eat good, because you know so many people say that already, what was happening in my body was not. I was highly inflamed. The root cause of all of those conditions all at once, it was inflammation. Some hormone, but a lot of inflammation, deep-rooted inflammation. And so I know now, knowing what I know now, it's the stress, it's the dairy, it's the foods that you're eating, it's the processed foods. I grew up in the South. I love sugar. It's the sugar. You know, it was so many things that were of comfort, and the struggle for me, because I don't want this to be I love high vibes, but I want to be real too. It at the beginning, it was all these things I couldn't have. It was like, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have this. And it's not that I couldn't have it, because there's always a choice to get whatever you want when you want it. But for me, it was the mindset shift, Nicole. Once I went plant-based, once I was juicing, once I was feeling good, once I was seeing the benefits, it was all the things I could have that I was enjoying, that I thought was really good. And that was it for me. Like that was really like the shift into like really seeing those things heal. And because, Nicole, it only took me about 9 months to get an official diagnosis and have a surgery, it takes endometriosis conquerors 10 years, 15 years, sometimes 20 years to get a true diagnosis. But because I had a relationship with my nurse practitioner and she was my sorority sister, there was this level of care and attention that everybody may not get, to listen to me the first time, the second time, and know exactly what to do. And I'm not going to say she wouldn't have done that with any of her patients, because there are certain doctors and nurse practitioners who are serious about their patients and their treatment. But I was so grateful to get a true diagnosis in 9 months when other people still don't have one to this day. And they know it aligns with the things that they're going through, with the pelvic pain, the heavy periods, you know what I mean? Pain all the time, not just when you're menstruating. And so for me, it's been a vibe ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. It is amazing what food can do.
Talk about it.
Removing certain foods can do to your body. Wow. Yes. For those who don't know, give like 1 or 2 words for each, the PCOS. What is PCOS? I'm familiar with it, but just a couple words to describe it. Mostly everyone knows what fibroids and endometriosis. But what's PCOS for those that know, and the other one that I couldn't pronounce? Adenomyosis.
So I feel like with ovarian syndrome, I'm gonna talk about what it looked like in my life, because you know, like a lot of times people don't necessarily know the definition or what it might be, you know, like speaking on that level. So I'm gonna tell you what I normalize. I normalize irregular periods. So either having multiple periods in a month or skipping months where you're not even having a period. For me, it was skipping months. I went 1 year, I think it was 2007, and didn't have a period for 3 months. But I was in a high stressful situation, not high stressful situation, but a high stress time of my life. I was a transfer student. I was going through different things in college, trying to figure out a job in a new place. And so that stress took a part on it. But it was people who made me normalize or validated why I missed a period, that I didn't think something was wrong with my body or could be wrong with my body. That was one thing, irregular periods. The second thing for polycystic ovarian syndrome for me was the facial hair. I have family members, my mom, my aunt, my grandma, I think more than one aunt. They can pluck, but my mom and my other aunt would have to like use Nair or, you know, do other things because the hair would be there, to make them feel more, you know, womanly. So when I got the facial hair, I was just like, oh, I see it in my family. Like, I'm all good with it. You know, I just know what it is. And then, you know, I wax and, you know, over time I got it. So it's the unwanted facial hair, or the facial hair that's usually in places that assigned at birth men would traditionally have. So right there, that's showing that there's a hormone issue or overproduction, whether it's with your estrogen, androgens, testosterone. There's a hormonal issue that's happening that's creating the unwanted facial hair. The third thing, Nicole, would be the inability to lose weight or weight fluctuations. You could change your diet. I think my aunt did like Jenny Craig. My mom did Weight Watchers, like doing the extreme diets or trends, trying to find lifestyle things, cutting down on calories or burning more here or there, or all the different things. You can do those things and it's still hard for you to get the real results that other people are naturally being able to do it. So unexplained weight gain or unable to lose the weight, or the fluctuations, that was another sign for me with polycystic ovary syndrome. So just making sure that you knew some of the signs, that's what it could potentially be. Also, people who want to get pregnant and they can't, and they don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they're not ovulating. Maybe there's something going on with their ovaries. That could be it. Wasn't my case, but those 3 things or 4 things have been the big pillars for me to know that PCOS was present in my body. Then you said the fibroids. You said they know that already. Endometriosis.
Yeah, I said most women know what those are, the fibroids and the endometriosis. I just wanted you to go over the PCOS and the other one that I still can't say.
Adenomyosis.
So
adenomyosis.
you gave. Oh, so that's not even covering that yet.
Well, no, that was
all
just
that
my
stuff you
PCOS symptoms. My adenomyosis pain was
wow.
only cited on my left side of my pelvic area. So it's pretty much the scar tissues, the chocolate cysts, and the muscle lining of the pelvic. So where endometriosis can be all on all the other organs, it's almost as if it's endometriosis in the uterine lining muscle. So it's in the muscle. So that's why they feel, not that it's more painful, but it's that debilitating pelvic pain that you feel can sometimes be adenomyosis and not endometriosis. Sometimes people have both. Sometimes one, they might just be diagnosed with adenomyosis if it's not spotted everywhere else, especially if you don't have surgery or a certain type of procedure that actually goes in and can see where those scar tissue and those lesions and those chocolate cysts are located.
The things us women can go through is just beyond. I don't have any words. I'm just like, Lord, I don't like to question you, but like, goodness.
Agreed.
Jesus, I'm just glad you're better.
Me
and
too.
you're not dealing with that stuff anymore. And
Agreed.
I mean, and we have it all to thank God first, food second. Okay. Wow. Okay. So what are some of the challenges that you faced, during turning over to plant-based lifestyle, and how'd you overcome them? Did you have any challenges?
Yeah. First of all, the challenge of grieving my former lifestyle. So like the foods, the restaurants, the things that I used to eat, that grief part, I don't think we talk enough about, Nicole, is grieving the old lifestyle to really be ready to embrace with wholehearted excitement, a new journey, a new way of living, a new way of healing every day. I say heal daily, thrive always. Like it's that shift for me. And so the first challenge was just the stuff that I used to eat. How do I now make that plant-based? Like, how am I remixing, making healthy swaps? And that was the first thing for me, is making the swaps, changing my mindset, knowing all the things that I could be eating. Also what helped that I thought was challenging was making sure I'm eating the right things. And so I also did a functional nutrition certification because I wanted to better understand where I'm getting my protein from, what nutrients, what vitamins, what minerals, what areas of nutrition I'm getting from certain whole foods, instead of thinking, oh, I need a supplement for everything, or, oh my God, you get protein from meat. You're not eating meat. What you doing with it? And it's like, you can get so much protein from so many different places, but protein is not the only thing that your body needs. You need good fiber. Sources as well. And so for me, the challenge was just grieving grieving the old me, and getting excited and embracing the new me that's healing from the inside out, and not just thinking healing was what I saw on the exterior level. And that journey actually wasn't even just a plant-based journey, Nicole. It was a journey back to loving myself, and loving me and
Mm.
caring for me in a way that I had never showed up for myself before. And that was something that I deserved, as well as not normalizing things that I didn't need to normalize, or like, let me see, not just normalize, like not normalizing the pain, but also understanding what are some areas in my life, what are some of those lifestyle disruptors that are causing me to stay sick or causing me to be inflamed, like stress, like not having boundaries, like trying to people please, telling everybody else no, yes, and not telling myself yes and telling them no when it best aligns with what I need, separating myself from different things. But for me, I am an absolute foodie, Nicole. And so I would love to eat more than I like to be in the kitchen. Now, I did try different things in the kitchen, because it just, when you start going plant-based, it's something about making food with your hands and making things similar to what you're used to, and knowing that salt isn't the only seasoning, and finding herbs and spices and things to, make things kind of align. Like, I was a pasta person, so
Mhm.
using coconut milk to have a good Alfredo sauce was a vibe. So just finding different Black plant-based influencers to find recipes. Me and my mom trying them. Sometimes me, my mom, and my brother trying them, because he knows his way around the kitchen as a self-proclaimed chef. And so it's just been a vibe, just finding good experiences. But finding good plant-based restaurants that were gluten-free, soy-free, was just good. A challenge was not eating so much processed plant-based foods. So first you go plant-based and you're eating a lot of processed, fake thing, mock meats and
Yeah.
mock,
Yeah.
dairy and mock stuff. That was a challenge too. That, at first that was the go-to, because you're thinking that's better than, the dairy, the
Yeah.
regular meat. And then after that, it's like, okay, realizing what all this processed food is doing. And so it's just continuing to level up the more knowledge that I'm getting, and the more podcast episodes I'm doing with other people, hearing their journey and seeing how they've transitioned. And so that, I would say, would be another challenge, is moving away from the processed foods and still keeping my mind open and excited about different opportunities and experiences around food.
That's good. I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes,
Now, I
ma'am.
want to talk about, what do you eat? Like, what does a day look like for you? Everybody eats differently every day, but give me a sample day of what morning until night might look like.
Mm,
And this is
that's
how
fine.
you, and describe what you were eating to heal, and what you eat now, or if it's the same, just tell me that too.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to say I love to start my day with juice. So I like to batch juice prep. So I like to juice prep once for the whole week. So I like to start my day off with juice. Sometimes it's 24 ounces. If I'm out there getting my 4 miles in with my golden doodle Spencer, I might drink 2 jars of juice. Then I like to move into whole fruits. So like maybe like apples and a nut butter. So I'm just going off of like what's happening right now, so I don't think too much and
Hmm.
get another B. And so then I go into to get like, all the fiber, all the goodness. And apples are in season right now at the time of this recording. So I like to eat seasonal fruits. Before it was the before it was the watermelon, because it was
Yeah,
watermelon.
yeah.
And I was getting the
Dang, I
yellow
miss
and the
watermelon.
orange watermelon. I don't know if y'all get that out there, but I love the orange watermelon this
Sometimes
season
yellow, yeah.
was smacking. Last season, the yellow
Really.
was so good. Oh my gosh. Yes, Nicole. But anyway, we out of watermelon season. It's apple season for apples. And then it might be like a salad. So this week I had these I tried these new burgers that were made out of like red peppers, quinoa. It's like these different this different burger that I tried. I never tried. I was like, let me try it again. And I had an open face burger salad. That used to be something that I really enjoyed. Before, when I did like the mock meats, was like putting it in the air fryer and then making it on a salad with some caramelized onions and some kind of like, vegan Thousand Island dressing, calling like an open big vegan mac salad. But I had that for lunch, and I might add two. And then for dinner, I might do like some kelp noodles with like some stir fry vegetables or something like that, or maybe the miracle noodles if we have that and we're running out of the kelp noodles. But I started this week with kelp noodles, and then with the miracle noodles with the shiitake noodles with a good like mushroom, vegetables, and like a good creamy, like coconut curry gravy type thing. And
Yeah.
it starts juice, raw, low carb, and then it goes into either possibly still low carb with the kelp noodles, or if there is some more carbs or something that might happen there. But with my PCOS, my polycystic ovarian syndrome, my body thrives so much better on low carb than it does higher carbs with
Okay.
more rice and different things like
Oh,
that. Hopefully that walks you through. That's homemade, but if you ask
yeah.
me what I love to eat out in the streets,
Okay.
that is definitely different. If you want me to tell you that, I can tell you that too.
Hey, we'll be getting it in them streets though. No, I'm
Oh,
playing.
we do. We
Sure,
do.
give an example. Give an example because
Okay.
I'm all about balance. But go ahead. What were you gonna say? Well, give me
So
an
in the
example of what you
streets,
eat in the
in these
street.
Dallas streets, let me let y'all know what I like to get in these Dallas streets. I'm gonna hit some of my top favorite places. One is Recipe Oak Cliff. I don't know if we're gonna get into this or not, Nicole, but I did 220 days raw last
Mm.
year. From March all the way into towards the end of October. And so Recipe Oak Cliff was like my cornerstone, black owned in Oak Cliff, what they typically call a food desert. But girl, that's my favorite places, favorite restaurants, all in Oak Cliff. But Recipe Oak Cliff, it was the Chipotle walnut meat tacos. It is something
Mm.
about her Chipotle walnut meat. It's how she seasoned it with the, what do you call those? Is it the red? What's the red? It's in the paste. It's like tomato, sun-dried tomatoes. I got you, Nicole.
Sun dried.
Sun-dried
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's the walnuts, the sun-dried tomatoes, all
Mm-hmm.
the seasoning she uses. It makes my mouth water. I told another PCOS posse, one that's
I
not
love that
plant-based,
stuff.
but she worked with me. Girl, it take it to a whole nother level. Like before I was plant-based, I knew
Mm.
about sun-dried tomatoes, bringing out the best,
Yes.
some good nut meats.
Yes.
But the Chipotle walnut meat
Girl.
tacos, she makes a good raw vegan cheesecake. That's why when you said vegan
Mm.
desserts or fruit, raw dessert me, because I would even want a good raw Snicker dessert. But
Yes.
that's my favorite over there. I love her burgers too. With I'm gonna say iconic vegan chicken. I like the iconic vegan eats. I love their chicken. Oh my goodness, mushrooms
Really?
like lion's mane
I don't like
mushrooms,
vegan chicken.
chickpeas. No, it's on that sugar cane, and he wraps it up. I wanted to go to the cooking class, but it was so much different because I'm so used to people using a lot of soy, and his wasn't. It was like
Mm.
chickpeas, mushrooms, and jackfruit. That was like the base of his chicken. And I was like, I never seen that until I watched one of his reels. I love the wings from there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing. With Hope Boys, girl, he has this smoked barbecue jackfruit, and he puts it on like a baked potato.
Ooh.
Girl, and his macaroni, everybody vegan macaroni ain't good. I'm just gonna let you know, but his is
Oh,
smoky
you're right.
and delicious. So that's another one that
Mm.
I absolutely love. But I'm gonna just give y'all my top 3 for now.
That jackfruit stuff, what they can do with that,
Go-
and FYI for people, it's not the fresh jackfruit that you would eat as a fruit. They
right.
take it, I don't know what they do with it, but they maybe
Love
dehydrate
on
it or
it.
whatever, and they can change it into tasting like chicken, shredded chicken, or tasting like something. They can.
Barbecue,
It's so
brisket.
versatile.
Very. My
Yes,
mouth watering
it's
with us talking
versatile.
right now.
You
Mm.
you said barbecue. Ooh, child, barbecue
Yes, Nicole.
jackfruit.
It's
Ooh,
the
I know
smoke.
that
He
was
does
good.
like a smoked barbecue. Woo! He could put it on nachos. He puts
Mm.
it on potatoes. It is so good. Mm.
Man, y'all got some good restaurants out there. Are those vegan restaurants straight up?
All plant-based, all black owned, girl.
Oh,
Yes.
I love
That
it.
makes it so much better for me.
Yes, yes. That's why I miss living in LA because every corner there was a vegan restaurant. Now I live in the city that's close to like Oakland and San Francisco, which is where the vegan restaurants are, but I don't always want to drive 20 minutes or 45 minutes to go to a vegan restaurant. Like my city, they had one and they closed it down. It was called Veggie Grill. I don't know if you guys have Veggie Grill, but that was like my go-to and they closed it down. I was depressed. Now I got to travel like 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes to go to one. So sometimes I don't feel like doing that,
But
but it's
you be
nice
in
when
the
they're
kitchen, don't
close.
know. You be in the kitchen though.
I be in the kitchen
See,
not
and
cooking.
I just want to get in the kitchen real quick and come right back out. You be in the kitchen though, and I
Yes.
like a good food experience, so I don't mind driving the 20 minutes. I'm gonna call you and place my order, so on the way when I get down, I don't have to wait too long. But you be in the kitchen
Okay.
really chefing it up. I don't even say people say
I
I do
be
a good
I
job
be
with it.
I
I
be
just experiment.
non-cooking.
Oh,
I be in there non-cooking, girl. And if I do cook something, it's hecka easy, like some cabbage and rice. Okay,
that part.
some beans and rice. I'm very lazy. I don't like cooking. I might do stuff for content, but I am basic, girl. I be eating salads, beans, rice, and a vegetable. A smoothie, an ice cream bowl. Just hecka easy stuff because I'm lazy. But anyway,
30 minutes and
did
out. 30 minutes
right.
and
Exactly. Did you lose weight when you went plant-based fully when you were transitioning? Did you lose any weight?
I lost weight. I lost some weight plant based, but it was also the walking that I think complemented it. I wasn't really too overweight. Actually before my surgery, I was like very low weight. Like I had already lost so much because I didn't have an appetite before my surgery. But I lost the weight when I was more raw plant based and
Mm-hmm.
walking. I saw more of a drastic weight loss. And then when I added cooked foods back to it, I started to pick the weight back up, but I was able to maintain where I was at.
Yeah,
And so I saw
that's
more of
good.
a weight loss raw plant based, and my body responded more to it raw plant based than regular plant based. But again, it depends on the type of plant based foods I was eating. So if I was very intentional with
Hmm.
showing up for my body, again, my body does a lot better low carb because of the PCOS. With the other additional
Hmm.
carbs, that spikes up the insulin resistance. It's harder for me to lose the weight already. Now there's more of a challenge because there's so much carbs from the pasta, from the rice, that's working against me. And so that's when I would still see like the weight go up, but going down. It was more
Yeah,
the raw plant based with the weight loss.
gotcha. Okay, let's bring it to a close. Like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who might be dealing with some of the struggles you dealt with that's considering a plant-based approach? Like, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say one, your pelvic pain is not normal. And there's things that you can do within your lifestyle to help you not be in so pain as much. Your body's not working against you. It's just talking to you, sending you signals and messages
Hmm.
that there's deeper work that needs to happen. And it's not just in the food. I call it my M to the third degree healing empowerment formula: mindset, mindful eating, and movement. It starts with your mind first. There's a space that you need to create, that you deserve to experience, to start shifting your thoughts, your feelings, and beliefs about who you are as a person and what you deserve in this life and what your body deserves, and giving yourself something that your future self would be grateful for. And your future self could be the person tomorrow. So if you don't want the pain tomorrow, there's things that you can do today, decisions that you can make today that your future self would thank you for. The mindful eating, food plays a huge part in your body, in your life, how you think, how you feel, the energy, the bloating, the fatigue, the periods, the cycles. Even with my students, even trying my juices and drinking my juices, they're able to not be in so much pain anymore after drinking some of my juices. And they just getting a sip of the cup. They're not even making the whole jar. So even if you want to get into a place where you're wanting to just start with one wellness tool, I absolutely love juicing because it gives you higher energy. It helps reduce the bloat. And it allows you to start seeing the pain be reduced. So that's another thing. When it comes to eating, you get to decide what you eat, when you eat, and if you want to eat. So there's still power in your decisions to knowing that you can do some things differently for your body. Take it one thing at a time, and definitely don't try to make this a perfect journey because it's not. What's perfect is your love for yourself. That is what it's all about. How you show up for you, what you believe about you. That's the perfect way of doing it. But it's a journey, not a destination. So if you say, I'm going to go low carb, and you end up eating some carbs, don't punish yourself. Don't think about, oh, I failed myself, because your body's now going to sense that in a totally different way versus you just wanted to be perfect or get an A on the challenge that you gave yourself to start building up this discipline, to start shifting some things. And so I don't want you to think, oh, I let myself down, I'm disappointed. Just say the next decision is going to be a better decision. And you're going to continue on with what it is that you say you want and you deserve for your life because it's yours. And then movement. I don't know what you like to do in regards to movement, but just get out there and intentionally move. I love walking because it's easy. I don't need a gym membership. I got my golden doodle. Get you a large dog. Get you a dog. If you don't want to get an emotional support animal as an accountability, then just start walking. If you love to dance, just dance. Say, I'm going to dance for 10 minutes today. And then maybe in 3 weeks, you dancing for 20 minutes. And then it moves to 30 minutes. Movement is so healing to the body because it allows some of that stored up pain, some of that stored up energy, some of that stored up trauma to start finding a way to be released through movement. And so walk, dance. You don't have to go into the gym. You don't need a trainer right now. You just need you. You need you to know that you are all you ever needed to start healing and moving in a direction that you want to go in. And me and Nicole are just here to tell you that you deserve to go in that direction. So be patient with yourself. Have grace for yourself and know that this isn't perfect. But if you heal daily, you're going to start thriving always. Forward vibrations. Only take the look back when you're trying to think about what's holding you back. What is that trauma? What is that stuck thing? But just go one habit at a time, y'all. One habit. It could be your mindset and how you show up and just be grateful for every day. Or it could be in what you eat. I'm just going to make sure I have me a juice or a smoothie every day. One habit every day. I'm just going to walk today. I ain't even hitting the food yet because I ain't ready. That's fine. Just start walking. Just start moving. Like, take it easy. But you deserve this. Take it easy, but you deserve this.
Yes. Hold on. Let me get my shout on. Hey! She just preached. She just gave a sermon up in this piece. I hope y'all really listened to what she said and was inspired. Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry.
Okay, not Nicole.
You know, sometimes a preacher be preaching. You just, hey, that's what I'm experiencing right now. But I can't get up and shout because I'm confined by the table and everything, but I want to get up and do my praise break.
I just hope
Thank you. What a wonderful way.
Something for them. I hope it breaks their limiting belief or breaks the need to feel like they need to be perfect or breaks their belief that they'll always be sick or break that they're a victim in their body. Whatever it needs to break, I hope it breaks today because they don't deserve it. And let it stay broken.
Yes.
Don't try to piece that part back together. Piece you back together. You know, one step at a time. One step at a time.
One step at a time. Wow, what a wonderful way to end this podcast, girl. Getting a little bit of goosebumps over here. Thank you so much for sharing everything, your journey. I know somebody's going to be touched by this because there's somebody that's going through one or more of the things that you went through, and to see that you were able to overcome them is going to be very inspirational to them and know that it can happen for them too. So I just want to thank you so much for coming on my platform today. Thank you for being vulnerable and opening up and telling us everything and being transparent. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too, Nicole. Y'all, it's your Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach Jovonnie, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast, here with Nicole, throwing it down in the Good Vibes studio. Y'all, check out Wellness with Jovonnie on YouTube. And most importantly, y'all, thanks for vibing with me, y'all.
Yes. Everybody, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you were inspired as much as I was. And I didn't deal with what she dealt with, but I was still inspired. Okay. Now I'm dealing with menopause. That's another story. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. You guys check her out on Instagram and her YouTube. I will get all her platforms to put in the description. So go check her out on all those platforms. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Well,